it's Brittany Vashon, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, this is a very different style video. I'm actually recording in my studio where I do hair sometimes in my house. So yeah, today's video is going to be very different. I was trying to, well, it's vlogs, so yeah. I don't even, y'all, okay, so let me tell y'all, this is very hard for me. I'm having a hard time even just trying to introduce it because it's very personal, and I have debated long and hard about if I even wanted to post this. So as you can tell by the title, this is my pregnancy and miscarriage story. I was pregnant twice, and neither pregnancy went to full term. And one of them, my last miscarriage, was actually recent, as in like a few weeks ago. But emotionally, I wasn't as damaged as I was the first time. I still, feel some type of way, but that's neither here nor there. So, as you guys may or may not know, October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Month. And, yeah, so I decided to share my story because both times I started to vlog because I always wanted to track my pregnancies and, just have something to look back on. But like I said, neither one of my pregnancies went full term. So I have footage from like my exact emotions when I found out I was pregnant, taking a pregnancy test, some thoughts after the miscarriage, after my second one. But the first one, after I found out I was pregnant, I don't even think I filmed anymore, but I still had the footage. So I combined it all so you guys could see like my raw emotion. And I'll tell you now, I don't cry on camera. Like I don't know. At the time, like I think I had got all my tears out. So I wasn't, you're not gonna see me weeping, but you're gonna hear my exact thoughts at that moment, what I felt like, where my headspace was, and some of the details of my miscarriage. Like I said, this is very personal. That's why I keep taking deep breaths, because I would have never thought that I would be in a place where I could actually talk about it, and then more so post about it, because people are so judgmental. And this video is more so just so people can know my story, and to let women know that it is okay to talk about their miscarriages. This is actually going to be the start of a series for me. During this entire month, I really plan on doing more videos about this. I know this is very unorthodox on my channel because people come here for hair, but I do feel like this is very important because this has now happened to me. So this is a part of my story. So I want other women to be encouraged, after if it happens to them. And I really want to bring awareness to early miscarriages because there is so little research that I feel like is done on them, that when you have them, the doctors can't even give you an accurate answer as to why you miscarried. So it's just to get it out there. Like I really just want more women to become aware about it. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. But yeah, so you guys, if you're interested, most definitely tune in. Like I said, I'll probably try to do a video a week on different things dealing with miscarriages, myths. Even I think my last video may be, moving forward, like what do you do, or what have I done to move forward, things that I did that helped me through getting over my miscarriages. So yeah, so here goes nothing, y'all. So don't judge me too harshly. These are my honest thoughts. Some will probably not be what you expected, but this took a long time and a lot of doing to be able to get to this point. And I'm still terrified. Do you hear me? I'm still terrified. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I tracked my period, so I went out of the country to the Dominican Republic, and I did not have my period while I was gone, and I was supposed to. So, I didn't research, and I thought it was because of jet lag, which is what they said, stress and, being gone. But I'm like, I was only gone 5 days, and, I've been on a cruise, and around the time my cycle was supposed to come on, and I got my period. So that's what kind of threw up a red flag. And recently, it's been very consistent. So when it didn't come on, I was like, okay, I don't want to test too soon. So I waited till about 2 weeks after it didn't come on to decide to take a pregnancy test. And I actually was going to buy the pregnancy test while I was with my husband, but he got so scared. He was like, no, don't get it right now. Wait. So when I went and made some groceries, I went and got one then, and I didn't tell him that I bought it. So after I got the test, I waited. I didn't even tell him I had bought a pregnancy test because I just didn't want to start on him about any of it. So I didn't tell him that I bought one. And when we got up that morning, he usually gets in the bathroom before me and does whatever he has to do. But this time, I wanted to make sure that, one, I had to pee really bad, and that I got in before him. So I let him sleep a little bit longer, and I got up and opened the test, and immediately when I peed on the stick, I was letting it sit because I bought the clear blue digital one. So I peed on the stick, and the lines were like moving digitally, and it said pregnant, and I had to like readjust my eyes. Like, did I just see what I just saw? Like, it's early in the morning, maybe I'm tripping, but I was not tripping. It said pregnant. So I like immediately ran out of the bedroom and was like, Skip, get up, Skip. So in his mind, he was like, why is this girl yelling and screaming at me in the morning? I just cut on the light and like shoved the test in his face and was like, look. So he pretty much had to readjust his eyes, like, whoa, does that say what I think it says? So I shed a little tear because I'm like, I automatically went into almost panic mode, like, oh my gosh, I'm about to be somebody's mother. It's just, that's a big step for me. Like, that's very scary to know that I am holding a child. I'm an always on the go person, so I really feel like I'm about to have to adjust my life even more so than when I got married, to now make room for a child. And I'm not gonna lie, I am very, very scared. Everybody keeps telling me, well, the people that I've told, which is only close family, you should, it's normal to be scared or all of that. But I mean, it's still a feeling I just can't shake. I don't know, I'm about to be a mother. I made a doctor's appointment for Friday at 2:30. That's going to be another issue because I actually work in one state and live in another state. You have to realize Louisiana and Mississippi sit on each other's borders. So I work in Louisiana and live in Mississippi. So I don't know. So I'm going to have to switch doctors eventually because it's just going to be too far of a commute to get to a doctor, and say something happens immediately, I'm gonna need somebody in Mississippi. And we're actually supposed to be moving in May. So this is crazy. It's crazy. So at this point, I'm just praying when I go Friday that the baby's healthy, the part pieces of the baby, because it's probably only as big as a seed. If that, or orange pulp, it's like nothing. So I'm just praying nothing is wrong, and hopefully I don't get morning sickness too bad. But yeah, I still have about a month or so left of work, so at least I'll be out at least 2 months, not having to work, and can kind of prepare myself. But yeah, this is the beginning of something new, and I really wanted to start back doing the stuff that I love. So I guess during this time I'll be able to kind of concentrate on that more, because my husband is not about to allow too much. He's already on me about eating and what I should be eating and what I should be eating, because he's just that type of person. So now that there's another life growing inside of me, it is going to be very different. So, spring for a healthy baby. You know, it's the new Whitney. Good morning. So, today is August 30th, and I am 3 days past when my period was supposed to come on. I am about 60-70% sure I'm pregnant. And I didn't even really want to say that, to be quite honest, because that means it might be real. But right now I don't have any signs that my period is about to come on. My stomach is still hurting, but for the last 4 months, my cycle has been very consistent, as in 24 days exact. So tomorrow will be 28 days. And if it does not come on by Sunday, then I am going to take a test. But I am not going to tell anyone, just because of what happened last time and everybody was so excited. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up and something happens again. So if I am pregnant, y'all will see this video. If I am not, it will never surface. But yeah, I'm feeling very, very indifferent, just to be honest with myself, because I'm not ready. Just simple as that. I mean, I wasn't planning, we weren't planning to have another baby soon. So yeah, this will be unplanned. This is not a planned pregnancy. So yeah, so we shall see. I will try to record and document over the next few days, just to let you guys know what's going on. And I'm going to be completely honest throughout the process. So no, I am not excited filled with joy right now. I am terrified of getting pregnant and the same thing happening again. So yeah, I'm on my way to work. Like I said, it's August 30th. So yeah. So y'all, I'm headed to go get a pregnancy test. Why did I wait till 10 o'clock at night? Like, I'm still scared somebody gonna see me. Like, why? Like, I'm not married. I don't know. Just the stigma of going and buying a pregnancy test. Like, player. I can't believe I'm finna go buy a pregnancy test. Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna take it in the morning though, so I'll let you guys know how it turns out. Okay, so today is September 1st. I took a pregnancy test and I am pregnant. Yeah, I kind of figured I was, so I guess I'm not like completely shocked, because my cycle has been consistent for 4 months now. Sorry, I'm walking out of the bathroom. Yeah, my cycle has been consistent for 4 months now. So to have it like be late it already had set off an alarm. So yeah, I've already told my husband. He is booked up. They lost their football game last night, so when he came home, I had to go to the bathroom. I actually saw him this morning, and I had saw that they had lost last night, so I was like, okay, maybe this will be a pick me up for him. So I wrote a note. Let me see if I got the note. And said, here it is. I got it. Okay, so here's the note. It says, after a tough loss, I know your spirits needed to be lifted. Love you, Brit. Now you are winning for 2. Hello. So today is September 7th. And guess what? I am threatening a miscarriage. Yep. So all the excitement is kind of gone out the window. And I am starting to accept reality that this pregnancy will not go full term. This will be my second miscarriage. I had one in 2017, right before I turned 30, and I'm probably getting ready to have another one at 31. Everybody's been kind of checking on me this morning, asking how I'm doing, and I'm telling them pretty much my discharge is still brown. What they don't know is I just went to the bathroom and it's already turning pink. So I pretty much know what that means. So instead of being scared this time, I'm actually going to wait this one out. I don't want to have another DNC because I was down for too long. So for the most part, I'm just going to see how it goes. It's a very vulnerable moment for me. I had 2 bouts of hysteria yesterday while I was at work because I freaked out when I saw the brown discharge, because I guess I know my body well enough to know that my body is just not going to bleed. If it was going to implant bleed, it would have done it the week of my period, and it didn't. So this is brown blood going into fresh blood, which is how my cycle goes. So that is how I know it is happening. And I feel like I don't even know if my cervix could be open, but you know that feeling like when your cycle getting ready to come on and a whole bunch of blood is getting ready to come? That's the feeling I have right now. But like I said, I'm at the point where I don't really want to scare anyone. So I'm just trying to keep it to myself until I know for sure. Yeah. So if I do miscarry this one, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna want to try again, but I am probably going to see a specialist because it's a reason that I can't hold them. So yeah, I would have never thought this would have been my life. I can do everything else except have a child. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know if I'll even film after this. If I do, it probably will be weeks later. But yeah, I debated if I was even going to start the journey and put it up. And I'm still debating. So if you guys see this, it means I decided to. I don't necessarily want to say I'm discouraged, but I do believe there's a reason and season for everything under the sun. And once again, it's just not time. Now, have I had my doubts of questioning? Yes, because I just keep wanting to know why me. Like, I have been through a lot in the last few months. I've had 2 wrecks. Now this, financial issues. It's just been a lot. And this is a very transparent video. It's just really been a lot. So, of course, it's hard to keep your faith up when everything is literally falling apart before my eyes. Everything just falling apart. And I can't control it. It's nothing I can do. I'm almost to the point where I feel like I'm getting immune to the pain. So, yep. So that's all for now. If I have anything else to say, I'll come back later, but I'll let you guys know how it ends. Hey, so today is the 10th. So tomorrow is my doctor's appointment. I'm in my classroom, so you can see everything. So we're just praying for excellent results. Nothing has changed since last Thursday. Still brown, still brown discharge. Not even really showing up on a pad. Like if it is now, it's like showing up lightly, not a lot. But when I wipe, I can tell. So I'm still a little nervous because I'm expecting my hormone levels to be increasing, not decreasing. So I am praying that they are increasing and not decreasing. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna want to try again if I miscarried twice. I don't know. We really gonna have to wait and see. Like I'm really, like this gonna take some time. Like I'm not as antsy. I'm just kind of ready to know like how life is going to go from here. Do I need to be preparing for a child, or do I need to be preparing for life as usual? So yeah, these videos are not really long because I'm probably going to try to compile them all together, but I just want to keep you guys updated. I know this is probably an unusual type of series, but I honestly think it's necessary because some women don't know, and I'm just trying to give you symptoms from what I have been experiencing. And this is, remember, this will be, I had a miscarriage last year, so this will be my second time being pregnant. And each time was different. So I found out later, not later, but I found out closer to the end of my trimester the last time. And this time I found out like right at the beginning. So it's a different type of weight. So like I said, I'm just anxious to see what tomorrow holds. I am not cramping and I don't feel bad. Now, do I have a lot of energy? No, but I don't feel bad at all. So yeah, so I will keep you guys updated tomorrow. I am going to the doctor by myself. I didn't want to have my husband take off for this because it's really just the first appointment, just to kind of see where things are going. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. It's September 21st, and you guys know in my last vlog I said I was very excited about not excited about the doctor's appointment, but you know, I was hopeful that things were going to go great. Well, they did not. Right after I made that video, I actually miscarried that night, or started to miscarry that night. I was actually at home by myself, and I started to cramp really, really bad. But I did not want to bother anyone. I didn't want to scare anyone. So I endured the pain for 2 hours before I called somebody. Because I really had planned on doing a natural birth. And I'm like, if I can't take this pain, then I ain't gonna be able to take no pain. So it wasn't until like I almost passed out in the bathroom that I actually called somebody for help, I guess you can say. So I called my brother's girlfriend, India, who has been very vital in making sure that I was okay during this time. She was actually very helpful in my first miscarriage. So in this one, I called her and I literally had like almost passed out on the toilet, y'all. So I went to the bathroom. My stomach was hurting so bad. Like it was just, I was in excruciating pain. So I like went to the bathroom, and this is TMI, but I said I was gonna vlog the journey, so you need to know. But I was having a hard time going to the bathroom, so I finally was able to go. And as soon as I went, like that's when I saw the drop of red blood. And if you know anything about miscarriages or anything like that, then the blood, once it gets to like vibrant bright red, then you know it's an issue. So at that moment I was like, okay, you know, it's about to happen. Well, after that little bit came out, like I literally almost just tipped over because I got extremely lightheaded. So I just called her while I was sitting on the floor, and she was just like, just breathe, you know, or whatever. So I ended up having to call my mother-in-law, and she went and got my husband and my mom, because they both, my husband was coaching a JV game, and my mom was actually working the gate of that JV game. So nobody was really available. So she ended up going and telling them, and they both rushed home or whatever. But by then the cramps had subsided. So they were asking me if I wanted to go to the ER, and I actually declined. And let me tell you why. So in my first miscarriage, it actually taught me a lot about how I don't know how to say it, how the system works. So I knew for my first miscarriage, I went to the ER 2 days in a row. I went on May 5th and I went on May 6th. So when I went on May 5th, I had just started to miscarry. So it was really nothing that the ER could do because it was either going to happen or I was going to have a DNC. So I couldn't actually have the DNC until, well, I had scheduled one for that Tuesday the first time. This was my first miscarriage last May. So I had scheduled a DNC for then. So when I scheduled the DNC, I ended up miscarrying the next day. So on May 5th, I went to the ER because I was bleeding. And then on the 6th, so on May 6th, I went and had an emergency DNC. So this time around, I realized that it was no point in me rushing to the ER because there was nothing they were going to be able to do. So I was determined not to have another DNC just because it put me down for so long, emotionally and physically. So I had told my husband, I was like, well, I'm just going to wait this one out. So him and my mom came. They asked me if I want to go to the ER, and I said no. I was like, I don't want to go. I was like, I would much rather just wait to see what's going to happen as opposed to rushing to the ER, because what you guys don't know is I had stuck with a massive bill at the ER last time. So I guess this is another part of my journey that I have to explain. My husband and I work and live in 2 different states. We live in Mississippi, but I actually still work in Louisiana. So my insurance is in Louisiana. I'm originally from Louisiana. So my insurance is in Louisiana. Well, where we live, there's a hospital directly in front of our house. And the hospital itself is in network, but they outsource everything. And all that stuff is out of my network. So I got stuck with a massive emergency room bill for 2 days last time, and I just refused to go through that again. And anyway, I was definitely not impressed with the hospital. So yeah, but that's neither here nor there. So I just was like, I'm gonna wait. So as we were sitting there talking, like, I didn't actually know like when the miscarriage was gonna start, but my cramps had subsided. Sorry. But my cramps had subsided, so I was like, okay, I know something's about to come, because that's how my cycle is. So my cramps will usually like start to come down, which means I'm about to have a rush of blood. So as we were sitting there talking, I just felt like a pop, and the blood started to flow. So I knew at that moment, now we really getting into it. So I just slept through the night, put towels everywhere just in case, got up, went to the bathroom when I needed to. But I had a doctor's appointment the next day. So I informed the doctor about what was going on, and let her know, because it's supposed to be my first appointment. And my first appointment was me telling my doctor that I'm pretty much miscarrying. And I'll get on the whole doctor situation too. That's something else. But so I told the doctor, and she was just like, we're still gonna take your hormone levels, take your blood work, and do your hormone levels to see what's going on. So they did all of that. I didn't find out anything that day until I went back the next week, but I was pretty sure I had passed it. I had a doctor's appointment, look at my calendar, on Monday the 17th, which was almost a little bit under a week. And that appointment is, I pretty much told her, I was like, I'm pretty sure I passed something or another. They had lost my blood work. How awesome is that? Yes, they lost my blood work. I am married, and since I'm in Louisiana, when I got my teaching certificate, I put everything in McCray. So they changed everything in the teaching system to McCray. So even my insurance is in McCray, but I still have a lot of legal stuff in Dyson. I used to go to this hospital when I was younger, so they still had everything in Dyson. I came in and told them, change it all to my married name. They did not. So they couldn't find my blood work because they still had it under my maiden name. So that was I was kind of annoyed because I'm like, you know, the incompetence. Like, if I am specifically telling you, like, why are you not doing what I'm telling you so my insurance and the name that I sign in with will match? Well, anyway, the doctor was like, she was pretty sure I had passed it. She just told me to come back next week and do a pregnancy test to make sure it says negative, because she gave me one and it was really faint, which means that my hormone levels are steadily decreasing. So I should have a negative pregnancy test by next week. And if I do not, then they are going to do some more work and see what is next. So I just wanted to update you guys on what has happened so far. As you can see, I am not in a hysterical state right now, only because I have cried. I have dealt with it to some extent, but I am still pretty much processing the whole I have had 2 miscarriages thing in my head. So I'm gonna cry when I feel like it, but I'm not. At this point, I just was more worried about the fact that, one, I felt like this time it wasn't physically as bad, which is what got me down the last time. And then 2, I didn't tell a lot of people. Me and my husband, you know, opted out of telling people because we didn't know what was going to happen, and we didn't want people to get their hopes up again and then it not happen. Because last time I felt like a failure. Like, I had just told people that I was pregnant, mainly because I had started to show really soon. Like, I was looking pregnant super early in my pregnancy. So people were already starting to speculate, and it was just starting to aggravate me. So I had already told people the last time, and I felt like I was judged. And this time I didn't feel like I was judged because I hadn't told anybody. I had only told, well, who had I told? I told my coworker because our classrooms are connected, and if something was to go wrong, I needed her to know. So I hadn't even told my friends. We just really wanted it to be something, you know, if it was to go positively, that was a surprise for everybody. I'm at work, so this is the bells on my planning period. So yeah.